All right, so because we planned our garden on Farmer's Almanac and it's all planned out by carrots grow between 10 and 12 feet, say, we are going to map out the garden and kind of section it out so that way as we go along, since it is April 22nd, there are things that we can get into the garden now, like we just did onions the other day. Broccoli and cauliflower could go out now. Depending on the day, peas could go out. So if we have it all sectioned off and stuff like that, then essentially we'll just be able to kind of come out here, find the section and plant stuff like carrots. So I'm just gonna stick some popsicle sticks in the ground, and that way we can kind of have a rough guide. Ideally, I would like to have kind of some long dowels and rope and section it off that way, but we're gonna work with what we have. Yeah, all these onions right here died up to just over there, the last like 4 feet. But the garlic is looking amazing. I'm scared though, when the tree starts to get leaves, it's gonna like shade half the garden. Cut it down.
It will, but you'll get the more on that. And then the tree will start to grow. And then you'll have some on the other side of the garden.
I'll get in the garden in a minute.
Okay. I minute.
All right, so this is just the experiment on the beans that we were going to do, because we got really gung-ho and excited when we were planting these peppers here, which are not germinating very well. So I think I'm gonna try planting some more because I really want to try the peppers that are in there. But this is our experiment. You normally do not start beans early because they just grow so quickly. Like you saw some of the tap roots on those, they are huge. So you generally do not start green beans early. Peas, I don't really know. I've never actually grown peas before, so I don't know. According to the Farmer's Almanac, you can start peas ahead of time. And I do have some peas in there. Basically, I just picked the best ones because these look very sad. So, and we will plant more beans and peas later in the season, but these are the drying beans for cooking and stuff. We'll see if they come back to life. Some of them, like the kidney beans, look really strong and really good. But the things like the Jacob's ladder beans and stuff like that, they look kind of sad. So we'll see if they come back. Today is, what day is it, Johnny? April
the 22nd, 2022.
So it's April 22nd. So we'll check back. We have one day next week, I believe it is. Actually, I think it's on Johnny's birthday. That night it's going down to 0. So I'll probably have to bring these containers in for that night and then just bring them back out the next day because it's supposed to warm back up. So stay tuned. We'll see how well these beans come back to life. All right, guys, I said I would keep you updated on our experiment with the beans and peas, and Joshua and I are outside. The geese have flown the coop because it is hailing out, and it's April 23rd. And we just planted the beans out yesterday, and so what we're gonna do to try to keep them warm, because I did say there is gonna be some potential frost next week, is we use these bags for garbage bags. So we're gonna put them over the pots and kind of create like a little greenhouse effect, and we'll see if that works to save them. Why don't you come do this one and I can help you?
Well, I think I got this one. Yeah, I'll try.
Yeah, come over here.
You know what? I'll do this one since I need to be quieter. Mom, how many views do you have?
Like 50 or so. Here. Get it over the... No. Keep it up. Up. Yeah. Okay. And then we'll just gently being the key word,
It works!
so we'll try and keep the plants not squished, but inside. And see if we can create like a little greenhouse effect there. It's actual hail too. Alright guys, so I wanted to do just a very quick update on all of our seed starting because it's been about a month since the first time I showed you all the seeds we had in the trays. As you saw in the next videos that came after that, we had to buy another plant tray stand because we were quickly outgrowing it, and we've already outgrown the extra stand. So next year I'm going to be looking for kind of like a big massive plant stand that can fit these, the like 10, I think they're called 10-20 trays. I'm just going to call them the watering trays. I don't know, because that's what I use them for. But that can fit a bunch of them in a row like this way, because like this one can fit 3. So I want one that I can kind of fit like 5 or more on. That's like 5 levels. I don't know if it exists. If it does and you know about it, can you leave the link in the description for me? I haven't started looking for it because I'm not gonna be looking for it until kind of like fall winter time, but that's really what I want. But anyway, point being, we're doing a quick update on everything. I've transplanted everything that I said I was going to, except for 2 trays, mainly 2 trays. So I have not transplanted the apples and the nasturtiums. The apples really need to get transplanted. The nasturtiums I've half given up on because they are so bloody long right now. And I have a bunch more seeds that I can just kind of start more later. But the problem is that we've run out of room. Let's take a look at the bedroom. We have plants on the bed, plants on the floor, these are completely full. So we've completely run out of room. So I don't think that I should be transplanting any more into red solo cups right now, because I have no room to put them anywhere, and I kind of wanted to keep them under lights. But the tomatoes that we transplanted the first time are already like outgrowing. This is where I had the beans. I had to take this shelf out because the beans were growing so tall, which is actually perfect because these tomatoes are growing so tall. And I'm really hoping, the garden planner I used said that I could probably plant them out between May 6th and 15th. I'm hoping more towards the May 6th date because those things are really big. And even now, like I just transplanted these a few days ago, and they're already pretty tall. Like this one too, just transplanted this one the other day, and like this plant here is bigger than the shelf, but some of the ones further back aren't quite that tall. But we got strawberries transplanted, all the tomatoes, we have some broccoli in there. These are more strawberries in here. I gotta figure out a tray to put about 4 cups in because they're not in any water right now, and I don't know if I've watered them. But let's show you guys. Okay, so these are what I transplanted the other day. I put the name on the front of them, so that way we can kind of keep all the like plants together. So we have Asterina, we've got some paprika peppers. So these are all of our peppers, tomatoes. We have peppers down here. We have tomatoes down here. And then we have peppers, and peppers. We have strawberries. We have a broccoli plant in here. There's a few broccoli and I think a tomato back there, yeah. And then we have tomatoes. And then we have strawberries. This is the other tray I have not transplanted yet. It's got some kale that's growing, rosemary that just never grew, a bunch of marigolds that I am gonna transplant into red solo cups eventually, and nasturtiums in the back that are coming over to here. I left this tray because these peppers just aren't big enough to transplant yet. So we're just gonna leave them for a little bit, because as you can tell, they were kind of fighting for some sunlight with the beans they were planted in with. And then we have tomatoes, we have peppers. This is my broccoli and cauliflower here. And then we've got tomatoes, and the last tray that I have to transplant, I will do the apples. The nasturtiums are 50-50. I might transplant them, I might just plant more. So then we have the first round of tomatoes that I transplanted, which are like huge. And then down here, we have our potatoes that we started. So these are the potatoes. We have sweet potatoes. We have russet back there and red. And they're all kind of, the russet and the red are mixed together. So my plan with the potatoes, all I did was I threw them in with some soil. I wet the soil and I'm just kind of leaving them. I'm gonna see if they'll grow like some eyes from being in the soil and whether they're gonna grow any slips or not. They've still got about like, I think like potentially a month that they could sit in there and grow some eyes. Or are they ears? No, corn is ears, potatoes are eyes. But yeah, so we're gonna see what happens with the potatoes within the next month, whether they're gonna rot, if they're gonna grow some eyes, whether if they're gonna grow some eyes, basically some little roots, or if they're gonna like sprout into like a plant and I can clip some so I can clip some potato slips off. So we'll see what happens with that. So stay tuned, but that's what I've done with the potatoes. I didn't put them in glass to grow down into the water. I put them in some soil and we'll see what happens with them. I've never started potatoes before. I went into a rant on it on another vlog. But like, we'll see. I have enough tomatoes that if the potatoes don't work, we can throw some tomatoes and some peppers into the area and probably a bunch of other stuff. Because because yeah, we have a lot of seeds, so the space will not be wasted. So anyway, that's the update. It's been like a month and I'm already feeling a bit stressed. I'm hoping that the plants will last like another few weeks to make it outside. My big planting week sort of thing that I'm looking at is kind of like the May 15th, but if we have a bunch of nice weather around like May 6th to 10th, I might do it on the weekend of like May 7th and 8th if it's nice enough. If not, we'll do it the following weekend. If it's still not nice enough, I guess we'll wait for the May 2-4 weekend. So anyway, that's what the plants look like. And yeah, I mean, if you guys are growing anything in your garden and what you're starting, let me know in the comments. Let me know what you're growing, how you're growing it. We are going to do some container gardening later. And then we also have some squash to get out, which I think I have to start soon. So I am going to do a video though on what my garden planner is and the boo-boo that we made, that I made. Grievous error. But we'll get to that next time. Have a good day, guys.